It's me.
Hello and welcome to yet another Sit and Talk during what is a very, very important week this week, Mental Health Awareness Week. Sorry we're a little bit late. It's taken a little bit of time to get a few people in here, but we have very privileged to have two wonderful people that are very close to our hearts here at Walk and Talk, going to play a massive part in Walk and Talk. We have Sam.
Hello.
And we have
to be here.
And we have the legend that is Dan. Dan, how are you?
Evening all. I'm not too bad. How are you guys?
Not too bad, mate. I can't complain. Obviously.
Alive.
Yeah.
Alive.
So I explained to Sam, but I haven't explained to Dan why I look like an absolute knob who's wearing sunglasses at 8 o'clock at night, and for everyone else. People that know me in my own community, they'll probably just go, yeah, that's just Deacon as he is. But I will explain I've got a bloodshot eye and it doesn't look pleasant. So that's the reason for the sunglasses. All right. There we are.
Is that like I Will Paul from Kevin and
Yes,
Barry?
exactly like that. Exactly. It's me doing shots in my eye. And it just didn't, for some reason, it's just not reacted well. And I don't understand why. No idea. But yeah, I hope everyone's well. Lee, how are you doing this week?
Yeah, not bad. Obviously, with what's going on, it's quite challenging for everybody. I look forward to my Wednesdays, like I keep saying on this show. You know, it does mean a lot, and it kind of just spread a little bit of love and a little bit of time to people. You know, we got two, like I said, amazing guests that are going to speak about their experiences about Walk and Talk, men's mental health. Obviously, Sam's not a male, but she's a big part of what we believe in. And I just want to see how everybody. The stories that they have from past walks, really, and why they decided to come along and walk with us. So, to me, my question, first of all, is Sam, why did you join Walk and Talk?
Well, so I met you, Lee, didn't I, a couple of years ago through a mutual acquaintance, should we say? So yes. Lee was doing the Fulham to Birmingham walk. So that's how I met Lee the first time. And then I lost a really, really good friend at the end of 2018 to suicide. And the first person that I phoned was Lee, because obviously because me and Lee became really good friends after we first met. So when it happened, it was just a huge shock to me. I didn't expect it at all. So Lee said to me, why don't you come and join us on one of our walks sometime? And for about a year, I was like, yeah, I'll come on one. And then eventually, New Year's Eve last year. So I finally plucked up the courage, thinking because I run a lot, walking would be a walk in the park. I thought, you don't realise it's completely different muscle group. So so I joined Lee and all the wonderful gang on New Year's Eve for our first walk, where we walked from Reading to Fulham.
Yeah.
And 44 miles we walked?
44 miles.
Standard little stroll.
Oh, honestly, it was one of the most amazing but hardest things I've ever done in my life. Like the last 10 miles, we were all shuffling, all high on my mum's painkillers.
Yeah, it was funny. It was a unique experience.
It was wonderful. It was absolutely wonderful, and that's why the next walk I was like, I am in, because it's just one of those experiences that, I don't know, just kind of makes you feel human. I just absolutely loved it. So then I did the Chesterfield to Nottingham one as well, and that's where I met Big Dan the man.
And that's where Dan comes in,
smooth,
the organizer.
Smooth transition. I like that. That was good.
The absolute organizer, Dan. First and foremost, thanks for coming on, mate.
Thanks for coming on and just giving us something to sort of oogle. What's going on down there? Are we wearing a t-shirt? Are we topless? A bit of cleavage. Hey. That's for the OnlyFans account. That's for the OnlyFans account. Not now. Don't show off the merch.
We were meant to launch that t-shirt next week, mate. What are you doing? So Dan, I just want to ask you your experience. It was your first walk that you organised yourself, and it went really smoothly, if I'm honest. What was your take on it, and obviously the interaction with both Chesterfield and Notts County?
Yeah, so obviously I first met you, Lee, October, and that was the Fulham to Reading walk.
The opposite one. Yes. The
opposite one to what Sam done on New Year's Eve. Yeah. And I think you and I spoke at length of experiences and everything for that. And the picture that I see that you've got and the ambition, my hat's like fully off to you. Is I can't speak highly enough of what you're trying to do and what you're trying to achieve.
I think we all got to sing from the same hymn sheet, you know. As I've been saying to someone recently, you know, there's a lot of people that talk about men's mental health and have such like what we're doing. You know, we got to all sing from the same hymn sheet, and you know, if we all sing from the same hymn sheet, what's going to happen is it's going to be projected, and our voices are going to be heard. You know, if we have scattered groups around, you know, it's not going to be heard. To me, I will fight constantly for what I believe in, and you know, having wanted to take my own life and not wanting to be here, to meet such wonderful people like yourself, like Deacon, like Sam, like many other people that I've met during this journey. Everybody means a hell of a lot to me, and their passion and their desire to make this something big is something special, like what you done, and taking that walk and making it your own. And it was a wonderful walk. But yes, sorry for interrupting you.
No, mate. You're good. So obviously, when we spoke at length on the initial walk, my initial reasons for doing it is I'd always spoken to Johnny online for some period of time, and I was aware of the walk that you'd done, I think about 2.5 years ago, with you, John, and Martin. And I lost a good friend of mine. It's now 3.5 years ago. To suicide, unfortunately. I've played cricket with him for about 10 years, and it was nobody knew anything was up with him, unfortunately, and he took his own life. So yeah, going back to the same concept of that's my reasons behind it, of just going the whole stigma of the men don't talk, and that's what we're trying to open out and get to. So obviously, after that, the Reading one, I thought trying to branch out the horizons of going, well, we pick up any other club who can get involved.
I still have nightmares about the message you sent me.
Such a long day, mind, wasn't it? Because we had to travel. Yeah, we had to travel up north to go do the walk.
Man, we've passed the walk with Gap North.
Such a long day. But it was brilliant.
So it was a case of that. When I looked at the teams, and I was thinking, what could be somewhere different, because you're coming from Reading to Fulham's sort of city to city, and although it's a great walk, you're not really seeing a lot, are you? It's the same old streets and faces. So I thought, well, I'll have a look at the fixtures and see what we've got, and noticed Chesterfield and Notts County were fairly close. So I got Google Maps on the go.
Those bloody hills, Dan.
Hang on,
we're going to get to that. We'll get to that.
I'll get to that in a second.
There's always hills. There's always hills.
Google mapped it, and it was like 30 miles. And I was like, 30 miles, brilliant, because we've done over 40, Reading and Fulham, and it was pretty flat. So it must have been probably about 6 weeks to the big day. I thought, oh, do you know what? I'm going to go drive the route, because I'm not too far away. It's only an hour away. I thought I'll go drive it. And I thought, so got up to Chesterfield, drove through the little town centre. I thought, this is not too bad. First time I was going, this might be a little bit up and down. I thought, fairly steady. And then I sort of came to realise, when I was about 10 miles in, it was going, yeah, that's quite up and down. And I used to be pretty fit going back to my army years, and was thinking, Christ, like we could struggle here. But I thought, well, I'm not going to tell anyone that. I'm just going to say there's a few hills.
No. Let's jump in there. Let's just jump in there. You said to me, Lee, there's only one hill. Literally. I was cursing you. I was.
Remember that massive hill? It lasted for about 3 miles, I swear.
And on the right hand side, on the right hand side, there was a shop called Oxygen, and it was so apparent. It was like, geez, we're going up Kilimanjaro. It's just a vertical, like. It was just unreal, and I looked at him, and if I'm honest, he took a bit of abuse from me, a few effing and blinding at him. It was a laugh, and Wendy was with us, and she was pacing it up, and I'm looking, going, "This
last hill." That was before we got to the football ground. Yeah, that was one of
that was the last. But I remember driving that, and I said to Jo, my wife, going up, it's going right. So we've just driven 27 miles, and we were just coming into Nottingham. And then, obviously, when we were coming down, where that sports centre college?
Yeah, where we met Wendy.
Yeah. And I was thinking, then you're looking at it, going, right, we're going straight ahead of that roundabout, and then going up that hill. You're thinking, Christ, we'd have been walking for what?
Like 14 hours.
Yeah, 14.
My big toe was falling off.
It was like literally the last. Yeah, scouts were going, oh God, that could make and break a few people of getting in. But yeah,
when we got to that river bit by the bridge and we could see the stadium, I was so relieved. I was like, yes.
Yeah.
But then we had to sit around for like a whole day.
Yes. That felt the longest part, to be honest with you. You know, when it flattened out, when we came back into towards the city centre and past the Motorpoint Arena, I think there was about 1.5 miles left. And I remember I was talking to you, Sam, if I remember correctly, and Wendy was like, we could be there in 10 minutes.
Oh, yeah. And I looked at my Google Maps and it said an hour. I was like, no way, it's going to take an hour. And she was like, no, it's going to take 10 minutes.
Can get there
and then when
minutes.
We got there, I said, look, it was 1 o'clock when we arrived. She said, I told you we'd get her at 1. I was like, well, you didn't know, Wendy.
There was a really, really, really good walk, and like your input and your hard work was absolutely unreal. You worked so close with both clubs, and credit. I'll let you talk about Notts County and their massive, massive, massive support for us.
Like I say. So I think I tried to have a big sort of push and a big slog from after I'd driven the route. I'd sent a few tweets and emails. The Chesterfield journalist had came back to us, and he kept on retweeting anything that we were tagging them in, and making. And he done a really good piece of why we were doing it, and which was good. And then spoke to the lovely Alice up in Notts County, and I can't speak highly enough of her. Of anything that I asked for, or she was there, responded to all my emails. If she couldn't help, was pointing me in the right direction. And their hospitality and the fact that
it's unbelievable.
They opened us with open arms of coming of so obviously with a ticket to the game which weren't expecting, a food and drink voucher, the walk around the pitch at half time, and then even because obviously we did have because kickoff got moved, we ended up having 4 hours. Four hours later,
it was a huge.
Yeah,
when you haven't slept for like 36 hours and they're like, we've got to wait another 5 hours. I was dead to the world.
it was absolutely phenomenal. But like, I can't thank Notts County enough. You know, I think you know the people on the walk were superb. There was us. There was Dean. There was John. John's story was phenomenal.
John, tall John,
really opened up. He's a wonderful guy. I need to phone him. He's an absolute wonderful man. I thought the walk was superb. We had very funny moments. You know, Sean was on the walk. I think there was only 2 people that supported the clubs. If I remember rightly, it was Paul Morley who went up to.
Paul Morley, who joined us later, didn't he?
Yeah, he joined us later. He's a Notts County fan, and Mr. Sims, who is Chesterfield fan. They're the only 2. The rest of us were supporters of the club, and it showed, like yourself, Reading, Sean Reading, Sam's just whoever, me, Fulham, and coming together for a bigger cause. It really hit home to me, and I think what hit home to me more was when we went on the pitch and we walked around, and we said to Paul Sims, as we walked to the Chesterfield fans, his fans, they were all clapping, and we gave him the opportunity just to sit, and we all stood back, and it was just it just created such a good vibe. And I thought the passion from the fans coming to us, it was well worth the long walk. It was tricky, it was unbelievable. It was a nice evening, to be fair, if I'm honest. It was really
good
nice
conditions. Dry. It was a bit windy at times. Cold.
When we went past that accident, and we went through those fields, which were about 2 miles long. My God!
It was pitch black as well, wasn't it? I remember seeing those stars in the sky, but the wind. Oh my God! I had my hood up, and I was like, "Oh my God, it's freezing."
That was
like 1 a.m.
Yeah, I don't normally feel the cold, and I was gibbering, and I was like, "Oh my God, that is."
Yeah, it was bitter.
It's fresh.
Wasn't good at all.
I don't know. Just when you were saying, going back to the things of not having many people having the two from the clubs. I don't know if anyone remembers, but when we were coming past the Motorpoint Arena, there was a couple who walked past us who had obviously seen all the stuff that we'd put online, and as we were going past, we're going, "Oh, you've only got half a mile to go now. You're doing a great job." And just they'd only stopped for about 30 seconds as we were going past, and obviously the message had obviously got out, and they'd seen it. So that was quite humbling and quite nice to see.
It is a simple act. I've had that before. We was in on one of the many Reading walks we've done, and we were in a Costa Coffee, and it was about 10 o'clock in the morning. We'd been on the road all night, and this lady said, "What are you doing?" And we said, "We're walking from Fulham to Reading," and she was blown away why we're doing it. Men's mental health. We need to get men talking. If it means us pushing ourselves to a limit and breaking ourselves in physically, not mentally, it had to be done. And they donated, I think it was 50 quid to Calm, and it was just an absolute boost that we all needed, and the positivity that it surrounded us and gave us like that rocket fuel that we needed to complete what was a very, very hard walk in very, very tough conditions.
Do you remember when we did the Reading to Fulham, and I popped outside to have a quick vape, and then these two guys were like, "Why are you wearing sports gear on New Year's Eve?" And I said, "I'm walking to London." They said, "You're walking to London?" I was like, "Yeah, for a charity." And they both whipped out a 20 quid note. So I came back to Lee and I was like, "Lee, these two guys are just giving me money."
it was unbelievable. It was just like,
you were like,
"Get out
in the corner, were you?
Just get out of there, do it more, go.
But it proves that people want to help the men's mental health side of things. It's just getting the awareness out there, and this, once again, a fantastic idea with resonating what Dan said earlier. Lee, you've got to take credit for what you've started. I know you're very modest about it, and we're all working together to do it, but it was your brainchild from the very, very beginning, and we're all very grateful for you to do that. Otherwise, it wouldn't have got us snowballing like we are. But hearing these stories, obviously, I've only done one of the walks. Obviously, I'd love to do more, but something's happened in the world. I wonder what is elephant in the room. But I can't wait to get on another walk, 100%. And I want to do one of these long walks. I'm a massive fan of walking. Me and running. Walking, though, I can dabble. So it's going to be interesting. Hopefully, I won't run into any issues like some people have. I know that's what happens, but it proves, as I said, all these people that you're bumping into via social media, and even just bumping on the street, and them handing you cash. Like, that's crazy to think. People are just willing to just go, "That sounds amazing. Yes. Because obviously there's a lot of stigma about men wanting to, support other men in that regard, because of the world that we're living in now. It's deemed sometimes in some circles that it's not helpful towards overall equality. Yeah, and it's a lot of little factors that make it quite difficult. But it's great that people are willing, because the amount of times I've had conversations in a pub or something like that. I'm a very loud-spoken guy, and I speak my mind a lot of the time. And, you know, every now and again, I'll get a random guy going, it's like a breath of fresh air. You being speaking so candidly and open about men's issues, not even just about mental health, but just men's issue in general, because I don't feel like it gets enough support. But, you know, everyone needs support, but, you know, sometimes, you know, we can do stuff that means a lot to us. And, you know, as Lee said himself, it's affected all of us. Sam, it's affected you, Dan, me. We've all been affected, whether it's directly or indirectly.
I think that everybody seems to take a hell of a lot out of what was started as something that really was not a mistake, but something that I felt really passionate about. And when you have so much passion, you know, you kind of want to give it to everybody else and let everybody engage with you, and let everybody talk with you, and giving people a platform to talk, to be listened to, and make new friends. You know, without this, I wouldn't have met Deke, I wouldn't have met Dan, Sam, and many other people that have meant so much to me. You know, there's untold groups I'm in, WhatsApp groups, and it's hilarious. You know, there's great people that always come together and support each other, especially in this time now where we are in lockdown, and obviously things are being eased up at the moment. But I am missing walk and talk like there is no tomorrow. Like, reiterate what you said earlier, Deacon. You know, you want to come on a long walk. I am gagging to get back on that long walk and just see how everybody is, how engaging people. You know, you can't. This is a really good setup in the sense that we can all talk and we can all get together, but nothing beats physical, like, how are you, Dan? You know, coming up to him, giving a massive hug. Deke, how are you?
Yeah, some of the best conversations I've had have been on the 2 walks that I've done. Because when you're with some like random people that you've never met before, you literally just met them that night, but then you're walking together for like hours and hours and hours. And like, it was weird how it happens, isn't it? You kind of go into that little pair, so you have conversations with a different person like every half an hour or so. But by like halfway through, you've already had such in-depth conversations with people. It's like 4 a.m. You're in the middle of nowhere. It's pitch black, but you so that kind of gives you like this sense of like union, doesn't it? And you just get this like bond that you wouldn't get anywhere else.
Totally. And it gets to like 4 a.m. and you're feeling, I need to go to bed. I need to eat. I'm tired. I'm really struggling. But then to see, I like stepping back and seeing everybody come together organically and just seeing everybody help each other. When one's down, we put our arm around them and go, come on, we can do this. We're in this together. You ain't quitting. And I reiterate what I said a couple of shows ago, you know, with a lad Kevin up in Scotland, when we done the Scotland walk, Celtic to Livingston. He was struggling, but he made me laugh so much. I wasn't going to let him go. I had no interest in him giving up. I was like, can't give up, mate. We've come so far. We're in this together. I will walk at your pace. We will laugh and we will talk and we will achieve this together. And we got there and he broke down and cried. And to me, I kind of stepped back. He gave his missus a massive hug. I stepped back and I just went, do you know what was a simple process of me walking up to various crowds, to see it open up to other people? It makes me so proud to witness this. You know, I don't want anybody to go through what I went through, where it was, I don't want to be here no more. I never want that again for anybody. So if we can help anybody on the way, come along. We're going to have smaller walks. We're going to have bigger walks. There's a lot that's going to be changing really soon, which everybody's going to be here about.
Just to mention, I won't mention any names, but someone who joined us in the last walk is having a really tough time right now. Yeah. I won't mention any names, but I think if it wasn't for him coming on this walk and not having us as friends now, I don't know where he'd be. So me and Lee are now rallying around the troops, trying to keep him going and just trying to keep him positive and just literally showering him with positivity all the time. But I think if it wasn't for him joining one of our walks the last time, I think he'd probably be in a much darker place. So that's a massive point. So not only do you go on the walk together, but you stay friends continuously after. So whenever they're struggling after, they've got that bond and that sense that they can talk to you even after you've done the walk. So I think that's a really important thing as well. So even if you just come on one walk, you've got friends for life that will look after you and support you.
That's the whole point, isn't it? It's just like you like you said. I'll reiterate what you said, Sam. It is, you feel this unique bond. Like, you can phone each other up. All right, you spent the whole night together walking, and you've opened up to each other. You spoke about things. You've had a laugh. You've been upset. You've struggled a bit, but you've got this unity together, and it is just phenomenal what you can achieve together. It is, and like you said, what's happening with your man there, he needs helping him. He's not in a good way. He's not in a good way at all. And been on the phone to him the other night for a couple of hours, I'm just trying to help the best I can and give him the best advice we can and rally around him like we're doing with everybody we can at the moment, because everybody is struggling and what to do, where to go, how to turn, what to talk about.
Especially in this situation as well, like this whole COVID thing. I think people that have mental health issues, I think it's even bigger now, isn't it? Especially if you're by yourself and you don't see all your friends and family as much as you should. So I think it's really important to check in on people too. So just like a little text to say, hey, how you doing?
That's all it takes. Check in on your pals, man. Just like I've been speaking to people that were on the Birmingham walk a couple of years ago, a few Birmingham fans. And it's been amazing talking to them. Like, how are you? How is everything? And the response I got was, "Wow, thanks for checking up on me, man." It's the simple things that matter to us, and together we can be such a force and help so many people. It is just phenomenal. We've got the greatest gift we can give is time, and giving that over a 15-hour period is phenomenal. It's absolutely unbelievable.
What Sam said was completely right. The situation that's going on around the world right now, this is a tougher time more than we've ever had to deal with. None of us in our lifetime has had to deal with a situation like this. And it really puts into light exactly what people go through that are struggling with either anxiety or depression or anything like that. It really, as I said, shines light on that. So we really need to be aware of what's going on with people around us, whether it's friends, family, or even further in your communities and whatnot. We really need to just be on the ball with that sort of thing. Because I think that people that don't really suffer from any mental health problems or anything like that, I think they're actually starting to become a little bit more aware of what it's like to maybe have anxiety or depression or feeling distant from everyone, even though people are telling you, "Oh, I'm always there." And it's like, you can say that all you want. I don't feel that at all. So, as much as you'd love to teach your brain exactly how to think properly, that's just not how the human brain works. It takes some kind words to get you in the right direction, but it's you overall that needs to do the final step, so to speak, in bettering yourself or helping yourself and whatever. And what's great about this and Walk and Talk is that we're expanding as much, and we're trying to do as much as possible. Okay, we can't do the walking, but sitting and talking is the next best thing that we can do right now. So
it's a lot easier as well.
Oh, of course. You have to worry about losing your toe halfway through or something like that, or freezing your ass off in the middle of an open field at 1 a.m.
I do agree.
But I think that people that don't have any so-called mental problems or anything like depression or anxiety are really starting to think, oh wow, this is kind of what it feels like? This is tough. So this is the best time to raise awareness of this, because people are going to be empathetic more than normal. 100%.
Absolutely spot on there. I think people are much more kinder after the last couple of months. I found that as well. I think people are a lot more patient with each other.
Yeah.
The amount of people that say like good morning and hi, how are you? I think everyone's just taking a moment to appreciate.
A lot more happening. Sorry, Sam, to cut you off there. A lot more sort of happening in the community as well. You see, like you say, more people are talking to you. You just notice, like, when you say for us.
How's your community? How are you finding it with your community? Are people coming together? I know here in Haywards Heath, people are very much coming together, speaking to people that never speak to before, knowing your neighbours, and it's quite a nice feeling, if I'm honest, that people are opening up and talking. So you're getting to know the area. You know, what is it, tomorrow, Thursday, 8 o'clock, clap for the NHS, or carers, I should say. And people start seeing each other. I was on the phone to my mum and dad, and that's the highlight of their week. Obviously, my mum's not well at all, so she can't go out. And that's the only time she ever goes out, which is to clap the NHS. So it's a massive highlight for them. They see the neighbours, and everybody starts to talk. So to me, it just does mean so much. But I'm just going to say, Dan, how is it with where you are? Where are you? Henley? Is it Henley?
No. Burbage. It's in between Hinckley and
Hinckley.
Leicester. So.
Yeah, sorry, mate. Sorry.
No, it's good. Like I said, you're seeing, even when we're taking the dogs out for a walk, more people are talking to you. And when the dogs are having a run around on the field, you see people having groups of conversations. And whereas normally your old people have got their hoods up and walking straight past and headphones in, you're seeing a lot more conversation and hearing it. So like I say, it's good to see. And like you said, 8 o'clock on a Thursday, so we step outside the door here and you see down our road sort of various neighbours talking to each other, which primarily we've been here 3 years and wouldn't even known any of our neighbours sort of 4 or 5 away, but you know, we're seeing them more, speaking to them more. And like I say, everyone's there for each other, which is good.
Nice.
How about your area, Sam? What's the situation over there? Are people coming out talking? You talking to people you've never spoken to in your neighbourhood? Should we say?
Well, we've got our old next door neighbour Philip, so we sent him a little letter to say that if you need anything, just let us know. And then he sent us a little letter back. So I just sent him a little text to make sure that he's okay. But yeah, no, all our neighbours are really friendly, so it's nice. But yeah, it's really, really caring.
And my brother lives. Who are in the countryside?
You are my lover. No, so my brother, for instance, he lives by himself, and he does shopping for loads of little old people that live near him, because he lives in this really village where there's loads of old people. So he does all their shopping for them. So I think it is a case of you have to look after people that need the help. But I think it's been brilliant. Like, I go out for my daily walks every morning.
Yeah, we've seen on social media. And the same ducks.
Those bloody ducks. I love them, mate. I love them. But I see the same people every day. So I start chatting to them and just say good morning. It's really nice, yeah.
Darren was right. Don't forget the ducks, Sam. Yes. Deacon, how about your area? What's that like?
Well, my community in the IRL, the in real life situation, everybody just kind of mine's a bit mixed. I think it's more of a central London thing. I live in East London. It's a central London thing. It's not as close knit as maybe a smaller area or a country area or just outside of London. I'm very much in central, to be honest. The communities, it's a very unusual area. So the communities, there's we know a few people and stuff like that, but everyone's kind of keeping to themselves. There's not a lot of people that are taking the idea of, don't get me wrong, I think that the whole coronavirus has been blown out of proportion with the media and everything like that, but I'm still being wary and respectful of people and their decisions about how much they want, how seriously they want to take it. And I, social distancing and everything like that, I'm implementing that every time I go out. But unfortunately, the area that I live in, that's not the case at all. It's just not, unfortunately. So, but in regards to my online community, everyone's doing well. So a few of them are in here this evening in the chat and everything. So raise your hands up if you're a dry lander.
Oh, it's me. I
like it, Sam. I like it. Let's just put your hands up. Put your hands up.
Hiya. Put your hands up.
That's it. Well, it's just, you're more than welcome to join. But it's a tricky one. It's a tricky one. I like to help people, but my parents live so far away from me. It would, it take me on a tube over an hour and a half to get to my parents, and they live in London and I live in London. They just live in North and I live in East. And it's just and I can't get to them. It's so difficult to get to. You're exactly right. It is a typical London thing. So when that's the reason why London got hit so badly, is because people are wandering around not caring or not giving a damn because they've all got their own
cases in London today. I heard.
Apparently, I heard that as well. Yeah, a couple of hours ago, actually. Yeah, I heard that. Apparently, east of England and London, they haven't had a new case in 24 hours, which I'm finding mind-boggling.
Yeah.
But yeah, London's a bit of a weird anomaly. So when it comes to the ideas of helping community and stuff, London's especially zone 3, that just doesn't exist, unfortunately. People are, they're all out there, last man for themselves sort of thing. Imagine the Titanic. Just as it's going down, everyone's rushing to get to the boats. That's London in a nutshell. That's literally London in a nutshell.
Looking after number one.
we don't pull together. That's just London. That's just what they are. That's just who they are. As much as I would love to, as a very proud Cockney, that's just not the way. Unfortunately, not the way it is.
It's never been the way in London, is it?
No. I'm not, and I'm not going to sugarcoat it, and I'm not going to bullshit you. It's not great.
So I'm going to say sorry. Yes, I saw a message from one of the lads that was messaging in regarding Marvin Sordell. Yes, Marvin Sordell was due to come on, but he had to cancel yesterday due to other commitment. That's the word I'm looking for. Commitment. He is on next week. We're going to be chatting with Marvin on Wednesday at 8:00. I can't thank Sam and Dan enough for stepping in at the last minute. It means so much. Hearing the stories, and I'm not too sure about you two, but I am really, really, really missing Walk and Talk. I'm missing everybody. I'm missing the fun, the crack, the laughter, the struggle, the picking up of each other.
Missing the hills.
Not missing the hills.
You mean the one hill? You meant the one hill, right, Dan?
One hill.
There was only one hill. Yeah. This is what I'm hearing.
So many hills.
Mate, it was unbelievable. We have got a video of it. If both Sam and I done a video, it is on our YouTube channel.
Oh, yeah,
go check it out. It is.
Yeah.
And that very famous picture.
Do you know what really annoys me? Do you know what really annoys me about cameras, whether they're photos or hills? They
don't look like hills, do they?
It's like you could be on a hill like this, and the camera will just make it look like you're walking down a hill.
True. That is so true.
It just never correlates. It never translates well.
You're like, look at me walking up this steep hill. It just looks like a flat road.
I think from now on, every time that Dan organises a walk, we're taking a spirit level with us.
That's just great.
On there, taking a picture. Straight there. Spirit level, mate. I'm not having it.
The hills are alive.
They were alive, mate. They were. They really hurt. They really hurt. But it was a wonderful walk. You absolutely blew me apart with your passion and desire to put on this walk. He messaged me. He messaged me. I think it was about.
You guys will make it. It's not me. I just put pen to paper and sent a few emails and got a few people together. So
it was great fun. I can't wait for the next one.
No, you were superb, mate. I can't thank you enough. From the bottom of my heart, it really meant a lot to me, and it all seemed to work, come into place with you. It was just phenomenal. You were messaging me. We got this, we got that. We got a room that we can get changed in, which was always amazing. And like I said, Notts County was superb, and I couldn't have done it with more better people, if I'm honest. And if anybody wants to join one of the long walks, hopefully when we get released or Land's End to John O'Groats, I'm game, mate. If you are,
we're doing.
But I ain't doing no hills, mate. I'm not doing no
hills.
No hills. I'm not doing. You can do the hills for me. I'll get a car up the top and I'll go.
You need one of those electric bikes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's what you need. You just get a normal bike and you get one of the electric things and goes on it or something. I don't know how it was, but they're like the hype of it.
Those shoes that got the little wheels built in.
Heelys.
Hold on to someone.
You need some Heelys.
Hold on to
I've tried to do Heelys. Nearly killed myself. I'm just too old for it, apparently, for Heelys. Apparently way too old for Heelys. You have to kind of balance on the heels, obviously. And I'm just like, it's not great. It's not great. Let's be honest. But yeah, we definitely need to be doing another walk, obviously, when this all calms down and everything like that. And we can actually get out and actually meet up with more than one other human being.
Yeah, I think we're really looking forward to that, and also we've got a little walk we're going to be doing very soon. As soon as we can get clearance, we're going to do something which will be live streamed, which we're not going to speak too much about. It's a little bit of an exclusive there, people.
Little teaser.
Little teaser. Just like Dan at the start of the of this episode. I say teaser. He just showed all the material. You know what I mean? Jesus Christ! You got to understand. You got to understand. You know, you got to tease us into it. You know.
No, I just got to say what I've got.
Leave it to our imagination, sort of thing. But you just went full. Like, don't get me wrong. It was the best part of this conversation, but. Just a little bit more for the imagination, you know what I mean? But yeah, I can't wait. I can't wait for the idea that Lee's proposed. If we can iron out all of the creases and get that actually going ASAP, it will be fantastic. I
know you've been walking, Sam, and cycling. Dan, have you been walking and so forth?
I wouldn't say I've done massive amounts. I've done, like I say, when we've been out with the kids and stuff. So
I walked to the kitchen.
I wouldn't know where that is.
I love you, mate. I love you.
Oh, the bants.
Oh, you gotta have a laugh. This is what it's all about, and this is the whole point of walk and talk. You know, when we're on the walk, we do laugh. You know,
yeah,
it is
we do
positivity. We like positivity. We cheer each other up, and we try to help as many people as we can. And you know, no one's
Absolutely.
It's just everything's game. Just have a laugh, take the mick, and just yes. Let's not talk about Dan's TikTok. Watching, mate.
What TikTok? Dan,
have
you not seen it, Sam?
I'll message him after and get it.
Oh, yeah,
I will.
Shit, hunt it down, mate.
It's on the Instagram. It's on the Facebook as well.
Right, I'm getting on it. I'm going to find it. I can't wait for this.
It's all about positivity.
Yeah.
I've had nightmares. I don't sleep at night, if I'm honest. I've just got Dan doing silly dances in my head.
Oh, it's only dance. I bet
don't spoil it. It is great. Don't spoil it, Lee. Don't spoil it.
I think we might have to put it on Walk and Talk's Twitter account later. Everybody.
Can people watch this back, Lee?
It's going to be. Yeah, it's going to be on YouTube, which will stay there, and we are streaming live on Twitter as well. Which
I wish I'd done a tweet before, but obviously I couldn't because I'm on my phone. But it's all right. I'll get it out there.
I think I can't thank you both enough for coming on. I know it's a spare of the moment thing. It does mean an absolute lot to me and Deacon. You know,
I wanted to have a conversation, as I said to you, Lee. I wanted to have a conversation with people that have actually been on the walk, because you can only get so much from one person or Lee's perspective. We wanted to hear from people like Sam and Dan who have got involved in such a deep level to the point where they're wanting to kill Dan because of his hill issues and how he can't count how many hills are involved, and Sam freezing her ass off in the middle of an open field. I wanted to hear those stories, the real stories, you know, and as much as that,
we always go back for more.
Exactly, glutton for punishment. But it's all for a fantastic cause. It's all for a fantastic cause, and to hear the stories of people on social media and stopping you on the street, people are ready. People want to help. So let's get it out there.
Yeah,
I definitely agree. Like I said, next week, I'm really sorry, people. Marvin was meant to come on, but he is going to be on next Wednesday at 8. I think we're going to look at changing our times from 7 to 8. We'll keep you updated on social media with that. Again, thank you, Sam. Thank you, Dan. Deacon, you've been a pleasure as always, mate.
Thanks, Lee.
Until next week.
Lovely to meet you both, guys. Lovely to meet you both.
Nice to meet you too. Hopefully see you on the walk soon.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
So till next time, keep talking and keep helping each other out, man. Be good people.
Absolutely. Take care. Bye.
Look after yourself.